So yesterday, the DOJ announced that they are going after Apple, their first big antitrust suit in a long time, like on this scale. And I was thinking about all the antitrust cases that came before this. I think of Teddy Roosevelt and the Trust Busters going against Standard Oil. Nobody really cared. They didn't have a personal relationship with Standard Oil. I think of the Trust Busters going against AT&T in the 80s. Okay, we had a little bit of a personal relationship with Ma Bell. I think of the antitrust busters going after Microsoft in the 90s. Microsoft is kind of a love-hate relationship. We needed them, but their software kind of stunk, so nobody felt sorry for Bill Gates. But Apple's the first company in history that I could think of where the trust busters, the DOJ is going after a company that we all have a deeply personal relationship with. Most people I know, myself included, I mean, this is like one of the first things I look at in the morning. My iPhone is kind of my happy space. I'm almost embarrassed to say that out loud. But here's what the DOJ alleges, a couple things that stood out to me. Number one, think about it this way. Apple charges 30% to any company that sells an app on your phone. They take 30%. You know, it's kind of like the IRS. This is the kind of power they have. You don't pay taxes. The IRS takes taxes. Same with Apple. These app makers, they're not paying Apple. Apple's taking it. And, you know, Apple will say, you know what, go ahead, sell your app somewhere else if you don't like our 30%. But the truth is, this has become basically the only game in town. The other thing that the DOJ is saying, which is very interesting, is, you know, Apple's limiting access to third-party digital wallets, basically. What that means is, I mean, everything is Apple Pay. Like my daughter goes to Starbucks to pay for it. She just puts her phone up there and it's paid through Apple Pay. Basically, Apple has created a toll bridge for apps. It's created a toll bridge for payments. They are able to collect a fee on every payment that goes through the iPhone. It's actually mind-boggling how they can distort the financial system just by inserting themselves between the credit card and the consumer closer. And what's a credit card company going to say? No, I mean, Apple's just in a monopolistic position. They can actually muscle anybody to do whatever they want. What are you going to do? Not let your credit card work with Apple Pay, or not create an app for your new video game or whatever it is? And the other thing that they allege is that Apple is blocking super apps, and this is their phrase, not mine, super apps is in quotes. Apps that make it easier for customers to switch from Apple to another smartphone. Let's say that I wanted to go to Android or Google, Samsung, any other provider. It's almost impossible, apparently. I've never tried, but this is what I've heard from people, to switch from my iPhone to one of the other things, one of the other services. The reason is Apple has blocked apps that make that data transfer between phones really easy on different platforms. Now, I'm still processing this. Certainly, I can see some monopolistic tendencies here. The counter argument, or Apple's argument, is they're going to say, hey, we built this whole thing. If you want to sell video games, sell them online. They don't have to use them on our iPhone. And that's true, but the higher truth is probably this is really what online means for most people, especially the younger generation. This is a tricky one. I'm processing this, and I'd like to know what you think. What are your thoughts? Do you think Apple is a monopoly? Share your opinions in the comments below. Thank you. Have a great day.